Welford chart notes. Rule reminders let you construct rules which remind you to perform indicated activities such as ordering tests and medications. They can be automatically triggered whenever a patient's chart is opened or whenever you start the patient on a medication or make a new diagnosis. The program comes with libraries of these, and you can write your own as well. Let's see how this is done. To edit rule reminders, press Libraries, Rule Reminders, Edit. Or click the Rule Reminders toolbar button. Currently, the list of rule reminders is empty for this user. Click Add to add a new rule reminder. We're going to write a new rule reminder to remind us to order a hepatitis C antibody in the proper patient population. The first part of the rule asks if the patient is an active patient. We then test whether the patient was born between 1945 and 1965, and whether the patient never has been previously tested for hepatitis C and isn't already known to have hepatitis C. The parser then translates your rule to make sure that it interprets it properly. Press Yes to accept this interpretation. Now type in what it is you wish to be reminded to do, in other words, order a hepatitis C antibody. You can then enter an explanation as to why this test is important to perform. You can add exceptions to the rule, which are patients who do not wish to have the test for one reason or another. Click on the exception box and then the Add button. Specify the name of the patient and then enter the reason that this patient is an exception. To remove a patient from the exception list, highlight the name and click the Delete button. You can also add references that support this rule reminder. To do so, highlight the References box and click the Add button. Type in the reference and press OK. Now press OK to store your rule reminder. We now see the rule reminder on the list. If you wish to remove a rule reminder from the list, highlight it and click the Delete button. To change a rule reminder, double-click it or highlight it and press Edit. You can export the currently displayed set of rule reminders to a file called a rule database file. And you can import a set of rules from existing rule database files which come with the program. Click the Find button to locate rule reminders pertaining to a particular topic, either on your own list or in the entire library of rule database files. Click the Log button to see when patients have received reminders about this rule reminder. Click Print to print a report on your printer of all of the patients who violate the currently highlighted rule reminder. Click Rebuild to rebuild the indexing of the rule reminder database files. Click Scan to scan your practice to find all of the patients who violate the currently highlighted rule reminder. You can send the output to a file, to the screen, or to a printer. You can choose between a brief or a full report. You can configure the program to print reminder letters and postcards to the patients who are violating the rule reminder, and even print a set of mailing labels. Here we see a list of all of the patients who need to be reminded about this rule. You can check a single patient to see if that patient triggers any of your rule reminders by pressing the Rule Reminder Check button, or the Rule Reminder tab in the inbox, or by pressing Libraries, Rule Reminders, Check. Specify the name of the patient. Here we see that Kelly should have the hepatitis C antibody because she meets the criteria of the rule. The program explains to you why this particular patient meets the rule criteria. Click the Accept button if you decide you wish to make this patient an exception to the rule. You can press the Jump button to jump to other program functions before you make a decision about what to do. Click the Lab button to add a lab result for this patient. Click the Medication button to add a medication for the patient. Or click the Orders button to place a new order for the patient. You can configure the program to automatically open a window whenever you open the writer that shows the patient's pending rule reminders. Press System, Writer Options, Auto Open Options. Check Rule Reminders. Check Ask each time if you would like the rule reminder to open in front of the writer, interrupting your work and asking you to make a decision whenever you open the writer. Otherwise, the rule reminders simply open in a window which you can click on to see the details. Here we see the pending rule reminder for Kelly Erickson. Click it to see the list of pending rule reminders and click on any one of them to see the details. Now here are some helpful tips about rule reminders for more advanced users. Each user can have up to 500 different rule reminders. Each rule reminder can be as complicated as you wish to make it. If you look up rule reminder terms in the on-screen help, you can see all of the various types of terms that can be incorporated within a rule reminder. You can arrange for the program to automatically trigger any pending rule reminders pertaining to a medication when the patient is started on a medication. Click System, Medication Options, Auto Check Rule Reminders. Similarly, you can have the program automatically trigger relevant rule reminders when you declare the patient to have a new diagnosis by pressing System, Diagnosis Options, Auto Check Rule Reminders. For example, if you declare the patient to be a diabetic and the patient has not yet had a glycohemoglobin or urine microalbumin recorded, the program can automatically warn you about this situation and remind you to do so. And that's how to use rule reminders in Welford Chart Notes. For more information, visit us at emirj.com.